No Jumping on the Bed, a Zootopia tale. A fan-fictional tale. Adapted from No Jumping on the Bed. By Ted Arnold. In her bedroom, near the top floor of a tall apartment building, within the great city of Zootopia, Judy Hopps was getting ready for bed. Before turning off the light, her husband Nick Wilde said, "Judy, if I've told you once, I've told you a trillion times, no jumping on the bed. One day, it'll crash right through the floor. Now, climb into your bed, honey, and go to sleep." "Just one more time?" asked his crazy wife Judy Hopps, but instead, Judy got into bed, and shut her eyes closed. "Good night, Judy," said her husband Nick Wilde. Nick turned off her bedroom light, and pulled the door almost closed. Judy's bedroom was dark, and quiet, except for a soft, thump, 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 coming from the room above. "That's my third partner, Robert upstairs," thought Judy. Judy switched on her bedside lamp, and Judy Hopps, once again, began jumping on her bed. Judy bounced higher, and higher. On her final jump her ears brushed the ceiling, but when she came back down, her mattress creaked, the floor cracked, and Judy's whole bed tipped sideways. Then, down through the floor fell Judy Hopps, her bed, and all. Now, it happened that Judy's bedroom was directly above Mr. and Mrs. Otterton's kitchen, which stood next to their living room. Mr. Otterton and Mrs. Otterton were both more than a little bit shocked when Judy's bed fell through their ceiling, and Judy Hopps landed into Mrs. Otterton's blazing hot kettle of smoking Zootopian carrot stew on Mrs. Otterton's blazing hot stove. "Me and my wife were not expecting company for dinner," Mr. Otterton mumbled with a mouthful of noodles and meatballs inside his furry mouth. "Ouch! Help!" screamed Judy Hopps, who had burned herself, and caught on fire due to the blazing hot stew and Mrs. Otterton's stove. "I don't want to be cooked into rabbit stew." Before Judy could get out, however, her bed smashed right through Mr. Otterton's kitchen table, and it kept right on crashing down through the floor. Down, and down fell Judy Hopps, Mr. Otterton, Mrs. Otterton, the flaming hot kettle of carrot stew, the bed, and all. Mr. and Mrs. Otterton's kitchen was above Flash's TV room. Flash the sloth didn't even notice the bed falling through his ceiling. That is, until a meatball from Mr. Otterton's plate of noodles and meatballs bounced off his head. Within seconds, the boiling hot carrot stew was poured down the back of Flash's shirt from the kettle, which bounced off his head afterwards as well. Then, Mr. Otterton and Mrs. Otterton tumbled straight into Flash's lap, and Judy splashed into Flash's fish tank containing a large group of clownfish. "I already had my luxury shower at the Zootopia spa tonight," said Judy Hopps. Judy Hopps wanted to stay and watch the crime-fighting detective shows of Zootopia on Flash's home theater TV, but her bed crunched straight through the floor, taking Flash's TV with it. Down, and down fell Judy Hopps, Mr. Otterton, Mrs. Otterton, Flash the sloth, the home theater TV, the solid hard kettle, the group of clownfish, the fish tank, the bed, and all. Judy's bunny parents had just moved into the building. They were still unpacking when Mr. Otterton, Mrs. Otterton, a carrot stew smelling sloth named Flash, and a dripping wet Judy Hopps with clownfish attached to her body galore, tumbled through the ceiling, right into a box containing Stu Hopps's rare Zootopian stamp collection. When Judy Hopps burst it through the bottom of the box, the bunny cop was a sticky mess. "We see you started collecting stamps," said Stu Hopps as he and his bunny wife followed Judy, their bunny daughter, through the hole in their floor. Down, and down fell Judy Hopps, Mr. Otterton and Mrs. Otterton, Judy's bunny mother and bunny father, Flash the Sloth, the home theater TV, the solid hard kettle, the group of clownfish, the fish tank, the stamp collection, the bed, and all. The two otter children and baby otter of Mr. and Mrs. Otterton were spending the night at their babysitter's residence in the apartment building. The otter kids in turn had worked 3 days, building their dream house with blocks. Afraid that their baby otter brother might knock something over, the older otter brothers quietly hushed the baby otter to sleep for the night, while their polar bear babysitter slept deep in his sleep. Then the upstairs neighbors came through the ceiling. "Excuse us, we won't be staying long," Judy Hopps said, remembering her manners. The words were barely past her furry lips, when the bed of Judy Hopps bashed through the floor and continued on its way. Down, and down fell Judy Hopps. Mr. Otterton, Mrs. Otterton, their older otter children, their baby otter brother, Judy's bunny mother, Judy's bunny father. Flash the Sloth, the toy blocks, the group of clownfish, the fish tank, the Zootopian stamps, the home theater TV, the solid hard kettle, the bed, and all. The last thing Clauser ever expected to see was Judy's bedroom bed coming from his closet ceiling, followed by nearly everyone in the building. "If I had known you'd all wanted to taste my donuts, I would have organized my closet a bit," Clauser said, but they never once paused to admire how clean Clauser's closet was for that matter. They were too busy smashing and drenching themselves into his boxes of cream-filled donuts, getting his closet and themselves into a great big havoc of a mess. Then Clauser's closet floor broke apart, and everyone followed Judy's bed down through the hole. Down, and down fell Judy Hopps. Mr. Otterton, Mrs. Otterton, their older otter children, their baby otter brother, Mr. Clauser, Judy's bunny mother, Judy's bunny father. Flash the Sloth, the toy blocks, the group of clownfish, the fish tank, 17 boxes of cream-filled donuts, the home theater TV, the Zootopian stamps, the solid hard kettle, the bed, and all. Gazelle the singer, and her DJ orchestra, were stunned by the disgusting donut-covered crowd that fell from their ceiling. Gazelle loved an audience, even if they dropped in uninvited, but when Judy's bed smashed through her dance floor, and donuts and cream splattered everywhere, Gazelle wished her audience would leave. And so they did, along with her entire DJ orchestra. Gazelle's practice room dance floor was also the basement ceiling. It was dark and quiet as midnight down there. Judy Hopps closed her eyes shut, and tumbled through the darkness, until she landed on something soft. When Judy Hopps opened her eyes, she was back inside her own bedroom once again. Everything was in its place as well. It was just like before. Judy's bedroom lights were out, the bedroom door was almost closed, and through it Judy Hopps could hear her husband Nicholas Wilde talking on the phone with his fox mother quietly. "No more jumping on the bed for me," mumbled Judy Hopps, as she lay back down to sleep. Suddenly, Judy Hopps heard a creak, her ceiling cracked, and down came Judy's third partner, Robert, bed and all. Down, and down fell Robert.